Hi everyone, Bluthany Pinkertono here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Ratatat record, Magnifique. Ratatat is a New York electronic music duo featuring Mr. Evan Mast and Mike Stroud. They've been making albums for years now, well over a decade. And they're pretty well known for their very lavish synth work and tightly harmonized guitar leads. A trademark style that they have delivered on one record after another up until this point, where they are now on their 5th full-length LP, their first album in 5 years. I did like their last full-length LP, even though to some critics it might have seemed like the duo shtick was getting old at this point. Still though, on LP4, I think Ratatat proved themselves to still be pretty proficient when it came to creating little pleasant pieces of electro-rock ear candy. The issue I occasionally have with Ratatat's music, though, is that sometimes it comes off maybe a little bit too easygoing and mild. The occasional issue I do have with Ratatat's music, though, is that sometimes their music can kind of read like very mild-mannered instrumental pop, not too show-stopping or anything like that, which to me is exactly how this album kicks off with the song Cream on Chrome, which has a sweet little groove, kind of disco-inspired, but the dance beat here is just too polite to actually grab my attention and even elicit any kind of physical bobbing or moving from me. And the song Abrasive is really anything but. The track does feature some pretty nice strokes-ish guitar leads, but the track really just ends up sounding like a music bed to a car commercial where, as I'm listening to it, I just envision a new Nissan Altima turning corners and turning heads as well, with its sleek design.
And very low gas mileage.
That's right, Cal. Head to your nearest Nissan dealer today and for no money down, go home with a brand new 2015 Nissan Altima and a complimentary copy of the new Ratatat record.
This is not a serious advertisement. If you lease a new Nissan, you will not be getting a new copy of the Ratatat record. Nissan did not pay me to do this. This was a joke. Don't be a freaking idiot. This was a joke.
And there are actually a few other tracks in the track listing here that I think kind of read like just music beds as well, like the song Contact and the track Cold Fingers too. I mean, at least the previous record had these spots where Ratatat took some risks with some foreign instrumentation or percussion to kind of just give a variety of different flavors across the span of the record. I wouldn't say there's as much diversity on Magnifique, though Ratatat does at least an okay job of delivering some different sounds, flavors, styles here. For one, there are actually quite a few low-key tracks in the track listing here, like the title track, or the classical music-influenced introduction on this album, which is pretty beautiful. I mean, pretty stunning for the introduction of this album. And the song Drift 2, which features these beautiful sliding melodies, could be slide guitar or some lap steel. Either way, it's gorgeous. The melodies on this track, they're sweet, they're precious, they're soft, they're tender. They have a beautiful sort of echo or reverb on them, and they sound sort of nostalgic in a way too, like they're referencing that old Hawaiian music that there was a pretty big obsession with in popular culture when Hawaii became a state in the 1950s. And these shimmering, sliding, nostalgic melodies come back on the song Supreme as well, with a bit of a Motown flavor. Sounds really great, although the quiet beauty of this song is ruined by like this very loud audible guitar or amplifier buzz that they didn't get rid of in post. Really ruins the ambiance they were trying to put into this song. I do like the song Pricks of Brightness as well, although this track is not a low-key song. It's actually one of the more upbeat tracks, and one of a few songs here where Ratatat goes for just more of a straightforward rock style, with tons of harmonized guitar heroism laced in. And it's a pretty well put together track and really feel good. The song Rome goes in just more of a straightforward rock direction as well and succeeds in the process. There's also the song Nightclub Amnesia here, where we're getting a bit of grimier dance beats, which I actually like. These dance beats are actually hard hitting in comparison with the other dance beats on this record, and kind of the grimy, crunchy guitars on this track give the song a bit of grit too. It reminds me a little bit of a Human After All era Daft Punk funk. This song is also one of the longer tracks in the track listing here and features a pretty nice melodic and sweet, smoother second half. And aside from the all too short song Primetime, this record ends off relatively strong too. It features a sweet little peppy outro track, which is just as gorgeous as the intro track here. And the song I Will Return brings in yet another series of kind of sad, sliding lead melodies. And even though, in a sense, I am kind of tired at this point of this album's lack of variation and versatility and just new, fresh ideas for the Ratatat canon, this is a well put together instrumental, and the very slow, sad melodies do feel like a teary-eyed farewell, which is very fitting, not only for the title of this track, but the end of this record. Overall, not at all a bad effort from Ratatat. Nothing in the track listing here that I thought was truly awful. A handful of mild tracks, but for the most part, they do come together with some great peppy songs, a handful of great peppy songs, and several sweet, slower, sadder tracks with these sliding lap steel-esque melodies, which are actually pretty moving. I would love to hear these guys not only come out with another record sooner than 5 years down the road, but a record where they take a few more risks, or at least come out with other songs like Nightclub Amnesia, where they're not only branching out of the simple verse, chorus, verse structure by kind of branching things off into another musical passage, but also tracks that just have a bit more punch and a bit more bite to them. Either that or just more subtle and moving, like they were doing on some of the sadder and slower tracks in the track listing here. Feeling a light to decent 7 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this record a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, Ratatat, forever.